Oh, the microphone's not plugged in.
Yeah, no, plugging it in after we start.
Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Thank you all for coming along. We welcome you all to our Kirtan and Bhagavad Bhagavad Gita class. And we hope you will like to join in or just sit back and relax and let the beautiful names of the Lord wash over your consciousness. Can't remember what tune I do. That's right. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Swarupananda Paramahamsa Itina Amen. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Swarupananda Paramahamsa Itina Amen. Namo Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate Namo Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paskachar Desata Arine Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paskachar Isatarine Bhajashi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda Bhajashi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda Bhajashi Krishna Chaitanya Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shila Sadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shila Sadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shila Sadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shila Sadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shila Sadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shila Sadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Nitai Gaur. Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur. Haribo,
Paramahansa Parivrajakasatara Shishima Jagapuru Sudasrupananda Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakasatara Shishima His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Gauda Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur's World Mission Ki Jai. Navadvita Dhamma Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gaur Gopinath Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to Samal devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Samal devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Samal devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Gaura Premanandi, Hare Hare Bol. Omagina Timarandasya Ganagana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militanyena Tajmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Statpitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Tarati Swapadantekam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajaivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagapate, Gopisha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gorangi, Radhi Vrindavaneshwari, Rishabhanu Suta Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye, Vanchakapa Turubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha, Patitanam Pavenbhyo Vaishnavbhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Siddhaswarupananda Paramahansa Niti Namine. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahansa Namine. Gaura Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate. Before speaking, first I offer my respectful obeisances under the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Jagaguru Siddhaswarupananda Srila Prabhupada, who is very dear Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada is Gaura Karuna Swarupaya, the mercy manifestation of Lord Chaitanya, and is Radha Krishna Prastayate, very dear to Radha and Krishna. And I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are like wish-fulfilling trees, able to fulfill all the desires of the fallen living entities, and are full of compassion upon them. Haribo Namaste. So we are moving on to a new section in Bhagavad Gita. So from 2:11 through 2:30, Krishna was speaking, giving reasons about how the soul cannot be killed, how the Dehi, who inhabits the Deha, the embodied who inhabits the Deha, the body, cannot be killed. that it's eternal, immutable, unchangeable, immeasurable, eternal, and so on. We went through last week reviewing all the different words that Krishna used to describe the soul. And then in the last few verses in that sequence, then Krishna began, also made the point that, it's the natural order of things for the body to die. It's unmanifest, then it becomes manifest, and then it becomes unmanifest again. And for one who is born, death is certain, and for one who dies, birth is certain. So both from a spiritual point of view of understanding that we are spirit soul, eternal, eternally existing, and also from just a practical material point of view, that everyone who is born dies, that we are unmanifest, then we become manifest, and then unmanifest again. And so where is the lamentation in that? So for these two reasons, Krishna tells Arjuna to fight. So in 2:30, Krishna said, he finished, that therefore you need not grieve for any living being. And so these are like philosophical arguments or points that someone who's not self-realized and doesn't really understand the soul may struggle with it, as Krishna pointed out, that the soul is amazing, and some hear about the soul as being amazing, and some see the soul as being amazing, and some, even after hearing about it, can't understand the soul at all. And so this is a common predicament. And so now Krishna is going to becomes in this next sequence of verses from 231 to 238, much more practical, very practical reasons. Arjuna in chapter 1, and which we'll read in a little bit, from texts 31 to 38, gave various reasons why he didn't want to fight. And Krishna now kind of responds to some of these kind of more practical reasons that Arjuna gives. And kind of after responding to these, he then goes on and just speaks to Arjuna's personality or nature as to why, what will happen if he doesn't fight, and how unbearable that'll be for him. So I'm going to read these 8 verses, and then I'll start speaking on them, on the first one in particular. And as usual, it'll take us a whole class to do one verse. So Krishna says in text 31, considering your specific duty as a kṣatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation. O Partha, happy are the kṣatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties, and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. The great generals who have esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight Do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin. So this is quite an amazing sequence of verses where Krishna, presents to Arjuna various reasons that are very appealing to Arjuna. In chapter 1, Arjuna is talking about his fear of committing sin, his fear that committing these acts of infamy will lead to hellish planets, not to the heavenly planets. And here Krishna is directly responding that that actually the opposite is true, that it's sinful not to engage in the fighting, to not fulfill your swadharma or your duty of fighting, and that actually performing your duties of fighting actually opens the doors of heaven to you, Swagaloka, Devaloka, where all the devas are. That performing your religious duty or your dharma, your dharmic duty, the right action or righteous action of fighting, then you will actually enter into the heavenly planets. And so will those whom you kill on the opposing side. They shall also enter into the heavenly planets. And then Krishna becomes even more practical after addressing these kind of more ideas or points that Arjuna's raised that actually refer to what happens after death, going to the heavenly planets and so on. And incurrence of sin is only a concern because I have to suffer the results of this papa or sin or incur future pain as a result of my actions. This all comes in the next birth. But then Krishna then talks about very practical matters about how Arjuna is going to feel right here and now if he's, if he leaves the battlefield, which he was threatening to do. Bhishma and Drona are going to consider him a coward. He's going to incur infamy. And what could be more painful for Arjuna than that? That they will consider him Lagavan, which means lightweight. They'll consider him lightweight. So what could be worse for a proud kṣatriya than to be considered a coward and to become, for his name to live in infamy, and to be considered by his beloved grandfather Bhishma Dev, and by his military teacher Drona Acharya as a coward or a lightweight. This would be a complete loss of face for someone like Arjuna. So these are all very practical. So Bhagavad Gita is a mix not only of Vedanta philosophy, Vedic philosophy, Upanishadic type knowledge, but also very practical instructions for the living beings in this world. So Krishna addresses everything from every angle. And so we find this, of course, in our dealings with our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Always very practical. There's philosophical, we have to have philosophical understanding. But then Prabhupada is super practical, dealing with people's mentalities of where they are now, and concerned for their physical and mental well-being. So anyway, I find this little section quite fascinating. So then the verses that Arjuna spoke in chapter 31 that Krishna is responding to, Arjuna said in 131, I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle. Nor can I, dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield. O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure shall we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? So Krishna responds in this sequence of verses to these various points. And I would, in the different names that Arjuna uses here in these chapter 1 verses, O Govinda, Madhusudana, O Janardana, O Madhava, husband of the goddess of fortune. So these are all names for Krishna. That implies, that Janardana, the maintainer of the living entities, so Krishna, you're the maintainer of the living entities, why do you want me to kill them? Madhusudana, Krishna, you are the slayer of the demon Madhu. But you want me to slay my worshipable superiors, such as Bhishma and Drona, and our husband of the goddess of fortune, Madhava. So why, you have everything, Krishna. Why do we need to kill all these people here? So Arjuna is he's kind of like fighting with Krishna, kind of in a using sort of sarcasm or pointed names of Krishna to kind of like try and get Krishna to agree that he doesn't need to, that he shouldn't engage in this fight, that this fight is a bad thing. So anyway, so Krishna in these sequence of verses here responds to this. So in text 31, Krishna says, Swadama mapi kaveksha na vikamtu mahase damayadi yudakshreyo anyat kṣatriyasya na vidyate. Considering your specific duty as a kṣatriya, your swadama, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation. So there's some of the Sanskrit words here I'm just going to speak on for a moment. So swadhaman mapi kaveksha. So swadhama, one's own religious principles. So considering your specific duty as a kṣatriya, so your swadhama. So one's swadhama is one's duty, according to your particular varna or ashrama, or your status in life. So I've spoken on this, a few times already. This varna ashrama system, Krishna says in chapter 4, text 3, Chaito vanyam maya shristam guna kama vibhagasaha. So Chaito vanyam, the 4 divisions of human society, maya, by me, shristam, created. So I have created the 4 divisions of human society. Guna kama vibhagasaha. So guna, of quality, kama, and work, vibhagasaha, in terms of divisions. So Krishna he's the creator of this natural system of organization. There's varnas according to occupation. So there are the brahmanas, or the intelligentsia, the priests, the spiritualists, the sages, and this also includes medical people, teachers, the kshatriyas, or the warriors, the administrators, the vaishyas, the business people, the farmers, the bankers, merchants, and the shudras, or the workers who render service to others, which includes artisans and artists and so on. So this system of varnashrama, the ashramas being brahmacharya, or celibate student life, grihastha, or householder, married life, vanaprastha, or retired life, where one goes to the forest, the vana, and the sannyasi, where one renounces, becomes a renunciate. These are the 4 ashramas, or statuses of life, and the 4 varnas, the brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, and the sudra, are the different occupational categories, broad occupational categories. And these are not the caste system. The varna system became corrupted in India to become caste, where by birth. But Krishna does not say here in this chapter 4, text 13, that it's by birth. No, he says it's by guna kama, so by quality, and by karma, or action. So of course, if one takes birth in a particular type of family, brahmana family or so on, one has the opportunity to become a brahmana, just as Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami used to give the example of a high court judge. If one takes birth in the family of a high court judge, one certainly has the opportunity to follow in the footsteps of one's father, but only if you have the qualities, and if you get the qualifications, go through the training and the education. So this is so by activity. So this is, or karma. So this is the varnashrama system. It's not something artificial. It's not based on birth. It's based on quality, by the quality or your nature, and your karma, your action, what you're actually doing with your life. And the ashramas, they take care of themselves. Either you're a student, or you're married, or you're retired, or you're a renunciate. So these are not artificial. And so one's swadharma is according to one's vana and one's ashrama. So Arjuna, his vana is he's a kshatriya. And so the qualities of kshatriya, Krishna explains them in chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita, text 43. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the kshatriyas. So this is the nature of the kshatriya: heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership. These are their natural qualities. So the qualities of not engaging in warfare and leaving the battlefield and becoming a renunciate or a beggar, as Arjuna was telling Krishna he wants to do, these are not the qualities of kshatriya. These are not what a kshatriya should be doing. And for Arjuna to do that, he would be completely dissatisfied. In fact, in chapter 18, Krishna says, by your nature you're going to fight. So even if you walk away from this battle, even though you may pretend to go and become a renunciate and try and avoid fighting, by your very nature, because this is his nature: heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity and leadership. These are Arjuna's natural qualities. They will just manifest, and he will end up engaging as a kṣatriya. So one has to fulfill one's duties, one's qualities of work. In fact, Krishna says in chapter 18, text 45, by following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all-pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. So we should. So by Krishna is saying here is like it's so practical. Just by engaging in your work that is of your nature, and doing this, or by worshiping the Lord, doing it, doing what you're doing for the pleasure of the Lord, for Krishna's pleasure, then this is the path to perfection, just by performing your own work, but doing it in a mood of worship of the Supreme Lord. So Arjuna's fighting on behalf of Krishna, and as a devotee of Krishna, he can achieve perfection through fighting, through killing. And then Krishna says, it is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. So, we perform our duties. And so in Arjuna's case here, he has to perform duties that are that just aren't very pleasant. He's got to kill a bunch of people, and but he needs to do that. It's better to perform his own duties, his own occupation, imperfectly, than it is to go and run away and try and become a sannyasa or renunciate and perform those duties perfectly. In other words, if he just becomes a wandering mendicant and is a very good wandering mendicant, then this is not correct. That's not what he should be doing. Arjuna needs to be fighting. And particularly in this particular fight, Arjuna and his brothers are on the side of Dharma. They have righteousness behind them. Duryodhana and his cronies, his brothers, the Dhritarashtas, they're trying to exploit the kingdom. They have no concern about the well-being of the citizens. They're viewing the kingdom as theirs to exploit and enjoy. Whereas Maharaj Yudhisthira and his brothers, the Pandavas, they're fulfilling the role of Dharma or of a kṣatriya, of offering protection and well-being and concern for the citizens, seeing it as a religious duty, as their Dharma, to rule the kingdom and to take care of the citizens. So, this swadharma. So this is a very important Vedic concept and Sanskrit word. Swadharma. Swa is own or mine, one's own, and dharma, one's own dharma. And each person's dharma in this particular life is different than someone else's. We're all in our own situation in life. And so we have our own swadharma to perform, and we should perform it. And Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada points out in his purport that that one also has a spiritual swadharma, or spiritual duty, and this of course is our function, the eternal function of the living entity, is to engage in the loving service of Sri Krishna, the source of all living beings, the cause of all causes. And so this is our spiritual swadharma. But in this instance here and in this verse, Krishna is speaking about one's material swadharma, one's duty according to one's status in life. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that this is his swadharma, is to fight. There's nothing, Krishna says, he says that this is shreyas, that this is better, right? That there is no better engagement for you than fighting for religious principles, right? So this word shreyas. There's two words, prayas and shreyas. Prayas is like temporary benefit, and in chapter 2, text 7, Arjuna says to Krishna when he surrenders to Krishna, and he says, Makshreya sha nishitan bruhitan me sishyaste aham sharimam tvam prapanam. He says, Makshreya sha nishitan bruhitan me, please tell me what is shreyas, most auspicious for me. Please tell me confidently, bruhitan me. Tell me confidently, what is the best thing for me? What should I be doing? What is shreyas? What is the most auspicious and proper thing for me to be doing? And sishyaste aham sharimam tvam prapanam. So now I am a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So in 2.7, Arjuna is saying, please Krishna, please tell me what is shreyas, what is best for me. And now Krishna is telling him that this is fighting is shreyas. So up to that point, Arjuna had been saying, I don't want to fight. I'm not going to fight. He's not even saying I don't want to fight. He's saying I'm not going to fight. Krishna, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to do it. So. That's chapter 2, text 10, where Arjuna kind of has his final little, even after surrendering to Krishna, where he finally says, or 2.9 actually, I think it is, or perhaps even 2.8, where Krishna says, Arjuna says, Govinda, I shall not fight. And finally falls silent, like after speaking himself out, he's like, going through his nervous breakdown and giving all the reasons why he's not going to fight, and he's spoken it all, and he's like this massive energy, and he's shaking, and his mouth is dried up, and his skin is burning, his heart's burning, and he has to sit down, he drops his bow and so on, and after gives all his reasons why he's not going to fight with so much passion and energy, and he's kind of like finally sort of surrenders to Krishna, and then even after he surrendered to Krishna, he gives the final word, Govinda, I shall not fight, and so in 2.7, Arjuna said, please tell me what is shreyas, what is most, confidently tell me what is most auspicious for me. And here, Krishna is saying, Damyadi yudak shreyo anyat. So, for religious principles, indeed, fighting, there is no better engagement. There is any other better engagement for you other than fighting on religious principles, or fulfilling your dharma, your swadharma. So, and kṣatriya, the word kṣatriya means warrior or a ruler, and Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami gives the etymology of the word that kṣat means hurt, and one who gives protection from harm is called kṣatriya, trayate, to give protection. So another kind of definition of kṣatriya is to fight, to protect, honor and support the life of innocent beings. So kṣatriya is a protector, protecting the innocent. This is the role of a policeman or a soldier. They're supposed to be doing the right thing, doing the good thing, protecting others. And to not fulfill this duty is very sinful. A couple of times I've given the example of, like, there was a school shooting in Florida, I think, beginning of last year, and there was a sheriff's deputy, had a gun and whatever, and the shooter's inside, killing a bunch of school kids, and this sheriff's outside, and he doesn't go in. He's thinking about, well, gee, I'm going to retire, and I'm ready to retire, and I don't want to go in there and risk my life. And so this is like, terrible. It's, completely frowned upon by society in general, that, this person did not fulfill his duty. So this is dharma, swadharma. The swadharma of a sheriff's deputy is to protect. And if there's someone shooting and killing the people you're supposed to be protecting, then you're supposed to go in even at the risk of your own life. And, he didn't do it. And so Arjuna here is in the same situation. It's his duty to protect the people of the kingdom from the ravages of Duryodhana and his cronies. It's his duty to support his brother. That's his Kula Dhamma, to support the family and his dynasty. And, this is his duty and responsibility. And to not fulfill this duty and responsibility would be very sinful, or incur papa, so future suffering or future hurt as a result of not fulfilling his duty, which is the opposite of what Arjuna is saying. Arjuna is, in the beginning of the Gita, is saying that it would be sinful to fight, and Krishna is making very clear that no, the opposite is true. It's sinful not to fight. So you can sort of imagine, it's like Krishna chastising his disciple Arjuna here. It's kind of like, wow, Arjuna's spewed all his reasons not to fight, and then Krishna is now, this is quite a heavy conversation, really. Krishna has, as we discovered in text 211 and 213 and 214, Krishna points out that a wise person is not bewildered by these different things. So, like, Krishna has been chastising Arjuna in those verses, and then at the beginning of chapter 2, and then now he's like just completely correcting him. Hey, Arjuna, everything you basically said was wrong. So this is quite a shock to the system. The chastisement of the spiritual master waking us up, from our misconceptions and our illusions, our self-centeredness, our focus upon ourselves and what we think is right, our thinking we know so much and that we're right and we're clever and we're smart and we know what's best for me. So this is the spiritual master chastises us and wakes us up to the actual reality of our situation and how we should be focused on serving the spiritual master, the representative of Krishna, serving Krishna, engaging in the process of loving devotional service, rather than being so interested in our own misconceptions about what will make me happy. I should give up considering my own happiness. Arjuna is, at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, he's just thinking of his own happiness. I won't be happy if I kill all these people. Nothing will make me happy. So whereas the lesson of Bhagavad Gita is just give up your desire for happiness. Ultimately, as Krishna says in 1866, just abandon everything, abandon all varieties of Dharma, just surrender unto me. Sharanam. Mamikam Sharanam Braja. So just surrender unto me. I'm your soul protector and your soul maintainer. Do what keeps you engaged in my service, and don't do those things that don't keep you in my service. And be humble and self-surrender. The 6 qualities or the 6 aspects of Sharanagati. So we should surrender to Krishna, give up our own self-centeredness and our own desire for our own happiness, and just try and be pleasing. This is the ultimate conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. So here in chapter 2, we haven't got to that point yet. So Krishna is rebutting Arjuna's arguments. So damyat, another word here is for religious principles, righteous action, right action. So this is an extremely important Vedic concept or yoga concept, or Sanskrit word dhamma means right action or the law, sometimes capital L, the law, duty, responsibility, right action, righteous action. We've spoken on this a few times, how important this concept of dharma is, of responsibility in the Vedic system. This performing one's duty and fulfilling one's responsibilities and obligations is so important. Like this whole idea of swadharma, it's like performing one's duty, even if it's unpleasant, even if one doesn't want to do it, even if it is painful. One performs one's duty. One doesn't worry about sukha or dukkha, happiness or distress, which Krishna says this multiple times in Bhagavad Gita, to not be concerned with sukha, dukkha, happiness or distress. Just perform one's duty. And this is such an important Vedic concept. And whereas in the West, this is much less important. Generally, it's more about people are more concerned about their entitlements and what's in it for me. My rights. I'm entitled to this, or I'm entitled to that. My rights are more important than my responsibilities and duties. People are so concerned, you're infringing on my rights. But they have very little concern for their duties and obligations and their responsibilities to be a participating member in society, participating for the overall benefit of society. Instead people are so concerned about their their own happiness and their own situation and their own desires for material betterment and material sense gratification, rather than being more concerned about what is best for society. It's kind of a classic example going on right now, where there's a person concerned for their own position as a political leader at any cost, about wanting to have political power at any cost, regardless of what harm may happen. So anyway, I won't speak more about politics. So just a couple more points. So, for a warrior, there's nothing better than to fight for the right cause, to fight for Dharma itself. This is like the ultimate for a kṣatriya. to be engaged in a fight for righteousness itself. And in chapter 2, text 4, Arjuna had raised that, Gatham Bhishma Maham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusadana Ishubi Pradyochami Pujaha Vari Sudana, that Drona and Bhishma are worshipable. I don't want to kill them. And again, he'd sort of pointed out to Krishna there, Madhusudana and Arisudana. Krishna, you only kill demons. You kill bad people. But here, in this battle, you're wanting me to kill worshipable superiors. And this is something terrible, Krishna. Why do you want me to do this? So Krishna is basically replying to this point that Arjuna raised in chapter 2, text 4. And Krishna is essentially saying, although superiors should not be killed, if they are killed in the course of fighting for Dharma, there is no fault. So of course it's correct, one shouldn't go around killing superiors. You don't just go around willy-nilly killing people. But that's not the situation here. This is a dharmic or righteous battle. And it's Arjuna's duty to actually kill them. And so if in engaging in a dharmic fight, there is no fault for being engaged in killing others. So essentially in this verse and also in the next verse, Krishna is intimating that not only those who are interested in eternal life and love for God should follow Krishna's advice, but even those who desire material benefit or to go to the heavenly planets, they should also follow Krishna's advice. So this is kind of the nature of Bhagavad Gita, like Krishna says in chapter 7. There's 4 kinds of people who come to him. Those who are distressed, those who are seeking material betterment, those who are inquisitive, and those who are in search of the absolute truth, the jnani. And of these, the jnani is best. But nonetheless, all 4 of these devotees are coming to Krishna. So, so even if you just want material benefit, to go to the heavenly planets, you should follow Krishna's advice in Bhagavad Gita. Perform your duty. Act according to your swadharma. This is for your benefit, both materially and spiritually. So everyone should follow Krishna's basic advice here, which he gives in this chapter, in chapter 3 and chapter 4, where he speaks very much about karma yoga, or right action. So here, as I mentioned, Arjuna previously thought that engaging in fighting, he would be engaged in unrighteous behavior, sinful activity. It would incur papa, or sinful reaction. But here, Krishna, acting in the capacity as Arjuna's guru, tells him otherwise, tells him why he should fight from the angle of religious life or dharmic principles. So I think I'll leave it there. So we had quite a few more pages of notes. I'm not quite sure. We may just move on next week. Pretty much I think I've made almost all these points. So anyway, thank you very much once again for listening. Greatly appreciate the opportunity to speak on Bhagavad Gita. And tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Hawaii time, I'll be giving a Bhagavad Gita class at yogakirtanhawaii.com. So you're welcome to join me if you'd like. And on Friday nights, of course, the Healing Chant 108 class, where we're speaking on Mana Shiksha, instructions to the mind of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. So anyway, thank you very much. Haribol, Krishna, Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. That's right, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Haribo, everybody.
Haribo,
Have a wonderful
Krishna.
night. Rest peacefully. See you next time. Hare Krishna.